Thank you for using Just Like Me. This is the instructional video to help you lead the PlayStation for day one, where our main activity is sensory mysteries. We actually have 3 activities in each PlayStation, so this video will include instructions for sensory mysteries, I doubt it, and have you ever. Our largest activity for today is called sensory mysteries. In this game, campers will take turn putting their hands into a mystery box in order to try to guess the items that they can feel within that box. We have a couple of different variations on this game to make it work for different age groups. For this game, you will need a box, which you may choose to decorate with items like wrapping paper, stickers, markers, or other decorative items. Mystery items. These can be any items you find around the house, in the classroom, or in your church. You want to try to use items that students will be able to identify based on feel. You may also use a blindfold for this exercise in order to make it a little more exciting and mysterious for students. A quick sensory note though, not all students will want to put a blindfold on their face. You can do this activity without the blindfold by asking students to close their eyes or being very careful about the size of the armhole that you will cut in the box. To prepare for this activity, prepare your box in whatever decoration you may choose, and then cut a hole that is large enough for campers to put their hand into. You also want to make sure the bottom of the box is open so that you can easily place the box on top of items in order to hide them. When you are ready to begin the game, ask campers to line up, as all of our different age variations involve campers taking turns. During this game, we want to encourage campers to use adjectives or describing words in order to guess or help others guess what the item in the mystery box might be. For our youngest campers, place an item in the mystery box and offer each camper an opportunity to silently feel the item in the box. If they have an idea of what the item is, they can keep that locked in their head. Once everyone has felt the item, ask campers to come up with a list of adjectives that describe the item in the box. If campers were feeling an apple, they might come up with words like round, smooth, or sticky. Once you have a list of adjectives, ask the campers to guess together what the item in the box might be, and then repeat this process with other items. If you have a large group of campers, you might want to divide them into smaller groups of 4 or 5 so that campers are working together in small groups to determine what their group's item is. For second and third graders, we encourage you to pick a guesser for each item. That guesser will not be allowed to put their hands into the mystery box. After you've placed an item into the mystery box, ask campers who are not guessers to put their hands in the box and to silently to themselves guess what they think that item might be. Campers then each get to share one adjective with the guesser so that the guesser has a list of descriptions of what the item feels like. The guesser then has to guess what the item is before it is ultimately revealed, and the process is repeated with the next guesser. The game is very similar for 4th and 5th graders, but this time we encourage you to divide campers into groups of 3. In each group of 3, there will be one guesser and 2 individuals who will be helping that guesser to figure out what the item is. One helper will be able to look at the item and use adjectives that describe what it looks like, while the second will be able to feel the item and describe what it feels like. After each of those helpers describe 2 adjectives based on their experience with the item, the guesser will then guess what the item is. So if I have an apple in the box, the helper who is looking might say it is shiny and it is red, while the guesser who is feeling might say it is round and it is smooth. It would then be up to the guesser to try to decide what the item is. The game can then be repeated until everyone has had a turn or until time has run out. If you have additional time after finishing the sensory mystery activity, we have 2 additional activities that will give campers an opportunity to get some energy out of their bodies and run around. The first game is called I Doubt It. For I Doubt It, you will create 2 different bases on opposite ends of your play space. One will be labeled I Doubt It, while the other will be labeled I Believe It. You can use chalk, tape, poster board, whatever works for you to mark those bases. Each camper will get a turn to stand in between the bases and say something about themselves that is either true or made up. The rest of the campers will then have to share whether they believe or doubt what they are being told by running to the appropriate base with their body. Repeat the activity until every camper has had a turn or until you have run out of time. Our final activity is called Have You Ever? Now, this activity is a little bit like musical chairs in that you need to have campers in a circle with one volunteer in the middle. Students will be running from one spot to another, so it can be helpful to mark where students need to go with carpet squares or by marking squares on the ground using painters, tape, or chalk. Now, the student who is in the center is it. And the student who is it will be asking the other campers in the circles if they have done some activity that that camper themselves have done. For example, have you ever ridden on a roller coaster? Every camper in the circle who would say yes to that question then has to run and find a new spot in the circle. There are one more campers than there are spots, so someone will be left in the middle. That person is it and will get to ask the next "Have you ever?" question. Repeat the activity until every camper has gotten a turn or until you run out of time. Those are our activities for day one, our I Wonder Day. We hope that you have a really fun day and you enjoy getting to explore and learn with a variety of our senses.